Logan County Tourism Office. We are excited to have railfan here, and Danielle's going to get us started.
Okay, so we've been working on this for what, 4 years?
That's
so
right,
this
yes.
is a big day, and thank you for Virtual railfan for hanging in there with us. There's so many people to thank. First of all, thank you to the City Council and the Mayor for approving for us to put the cameras up. Jason Lake, the Park and Rec Director, is here with us. Thank you to Jason. And Judge Freeland is amazing. He actually brought this to us and said, Danielle, I think we should do this. And I said, if you think we should do it, then I think we should do it as well. And so then we had a conversation with Virtual railfan, and they were so generous, and Michael and his team, and making it all happen. And I know the IT department also as well. I think I got everybody done this evening.
No, you missed one. Decatur Morgan Tourism.
Oh, well, yes. Okay, well, thank you to my board of directors as well for also purchasing the equipment. And then thank you to my team, who is always a big advocate for tourism as well. And so I'm going to pass it off to Judge Freeland.
Thank you so much. This has been a dream we've had for a number of years. Actually, I want to thank one other group, and that is our rail fans and our model railroaders in this area, and what I call our big train railroaders as well. Those folks started talking to me several years ago about something called Virtual railfan, and I knew nothing about it at that point in time. We have cameras here, kind of security cameras. Well, they are security cameras, but we turn them such that we could use them as kind of a live feed inside here. So our own people could enjoy this, but we had people coming in and saying, why don't you get this online? And I said, well, how do you do that? Well, here's this organization that does it. So I want to give a shout out to those folks and a thank you, a big thank you for planting the seed, and in particular, one fellow from our National Model Railroad Association local club, Jim Norris, who made the first contact with you, I think, at a model train show several years ago.
Yeah.
And that has turned into a wonderful project for us. This is not only a fun thing, it is a fun thing. It is an amenity. It's a quality of life thing for our community, which, by the way, had the first railroad west of the Allegheny Mountains. The first railroad west of Pittsburgh was the Tuscumbia, Cortland, and Decatur Railroad. So we have almost 200 years of rail history in this city. So this depot celebrates that. And this gives us a chance to do that. So this is a quality of life issue, but let's not lose sight of the fact with all of our chamber friends here and myself, I'm very business minded. This is a business venture, not only for Virtual railfan, but for this city as well. Let me just give you an example. I estimate that already this year, since the cameras have gone up, our attendance has increased about 10%. We are having people, I had a young man day before yesterday come in here from Nashville. He's 18 years old. He drove here from Nashville and then drove back. He saw us on Virtual railfan and said, well, that sounds like an interesting thing, and that's kind of nearby. Let me just go down there and take a look at that. We've had people from all over the country come here already saying, we saw you on Virtual railfan, that yard looked interesting. We saw a little bit of a model railroad out there. And we wanted to take a better look at that. So, folks, what I'm saying is, this fills hotel rooms, it fills restaurants, it fills shops. And that is a wonderful thing. And Danielle and I have already, we conspire together all the time, and we're already talking about ways that we can even enhance what we already have to get the Decatur message out there even more. And we're talking about a couple of more exciting projects with Michael already just because of this. I also want to thank all of you for coming. I woke up this morning and my wife said, it is raining cats and dogs. I said, oh, it's work and we ain't going to have 2 people there. This place is full. Our depot is full, and that's the way we like to see it. We like to see this thing full all the time. So thank you all for coming. I want to thank my boss, Jason Lake, for kind of spearheading this and maybe using his foot to gently kick some people in the right direction a few times to make this work. And tourism actually funded this, funded our part of this, which was a great help because we could go to the city council and basically say with a straight face, this is going to cost you nothing. It's going to cost the city nothing. Tourism is going to pay for this. By the way, obviously this is a tourism project. There's no question about that. In my mind, it's already bringing people in here. And I think as the weather gets better, we're going to see even more people. Michael was telling us that, I don't want to steal all your thunder, but I do want to say this. Well, we're excited about this, and you can tell. 30 million views. 30 million views on virtual railfan every month.
From about 220 different countries.
Guys, they're probably looking at us. They're looking at us probably in Berlin and London, in Paris, in Rio. We don't know where everybody is watching us from this morning, but a lot of folks are learning about Decatur, Alabama because of this. So thank you all for being here and supporting this. It's a great help to us. I'm going to turn this over to Michael. I think he wants to give us a little bit of information about VR. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give you a little brief synopsis about Virtual Railfan. Like the judge said, right now it's crazy to even think that there's 30 million people a month that are watching trains, but here we are. And again, that's from 220 different countries. Our viewers, they're in the right demographic. They love to get out there. They love to travel, and they do. Generally, the economic impacts when we put a train camera in are almost immediate. In some cases, matter of fact, a few years ago we did an install in Arkansas, and we weren't even back to the hotel when the location called us and said, "I've got 2 people here from 3 hours away that heard that you guys were putting in a camera," and they had already shown up, and we weren't even live on the internet at that point. We had literally physically installed the cameras and we're waiting, to go live, and there's already people showing up. So another first is this is our first location in Alabama. So we're thrilled to be here. Our viewers have been asking for this spot for years, so we're glad to finally take care of that for them and slow down on some of the requests. And huge thanks to Danielle and your team and the judge and everybody here. We're happy to be here and hope it brings you tons of folks. Like the judge said, when they come, they'll come. Generally, March to November when the weather's good and people can get out and travel, the first thing you'll want to do is go see a new location because they can watch the trains, but you guys also have a lot of other things to offer on the riverfront. Plenty of stuff to do. This is a beautiful area. So again, we're glad to be here and wish you guys the absolute very best.
One other quick comment. Those of you that have a marketing mind, how many chances do you get for a few $1,000s to get 30 million views a month?
It's probably the most cost-effective marketing that you could do because it's literally advertising that money can't buy. When you introduce a live component, so for instance, if someone jumps on Google right now and you Google Decatur, chances are, the cameras have been up a little bit, that you guys are immediately going to be on the top of the list no matter what because it's live, and it's live 24/7. So, all of our chat rooms, this camera's got a live chat room that's attached to it. And, huge thanks to the Virtual Railfan team that does all the magic. We couldn't do it. Our team's amazing. But we've got another amazing team of over 100 people from around the world that are moderators for our chat that keep it family friendly. Probably one of the most difficult things to do is not the physical installation of the hardware, it's keeping a family-friendly environment on the internet. And what we call our army of blue, they're identified by a blue wrench in the chat. They're our moderators, and they keep the peace, but they also double as camera operators for our cameras that can move and pan around. But another benefit is they act as local ambassadors, because before we make a location live, all these folks dive in head first to figure out what there is to do here, history, facts, because inevitably when we go live, the questions start coming in. So those folks act as kind of frontline ambassadors and answering all the questions, and then of course these people start showing up. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, we thank everyone for being here. Jason, anything you want to throw out there?
I'll second what you said as far as the thanks that go into this project. To be honest with you, I'd like to thank all you, because I know you have to care about it tremendously to be here. And I think that when all the great ideas that come from these two, we get to enjoy those. And so I'd like to thank you two for coming up with this. He said I spearheaded it. I did what he told me to. So, and
Boy, that's a switch.
well, sometimes you're lucky enough to have mentors that can help you along. Judge Breland has definitely been that for me and a lot of other people. Like I say, I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all the people that were part of making this what it is going to be, and it's already started to be. And I appreciate everybody.
Denise, anything from the chamber?
Well, the chamber's always glad to support tourism and business in our area. And how about a ribbon cutting? Y'all want to come and do it?
Let's do it.
So we're gonna cut the ribbon right here.
All righty.
And everybody, I need to line up behind them. So any of this space, any of this over here, if y'all can move this way.
Before you walk stand, how close?
Stand right here.
Right down that line right there. That work?
Mine is now.
There you go.